Next chapter? Next chapter. The sun had fully set when Trixie and her friends arrived at the crossroads. The glow of dusk having set just beyond the horizon. Moonlight shone brightly, illuminating what was going to be her field of battle. Alright, Caleb, I'm here, Trixie shouted. Where are you? Caleb stepped out from behind a tree, still wearing his top hat and jacket. They now glowed with various symbols and arcane paraphernalia. His face was painted to resemble a skull, which unfortunately did nothing to distract from the smug look on his face. Rate répondez Alfonso très bon, Gil repeated. They know Trixie's friends. What are they doing here? We had a deal. Yeah, blow it out your top hat, Trixie shot back. The deal was they don't interfere, and he won't. Doesn't mean he can't be here. So Gil's swagger returned. Fine then. The more witnesses to your defeat, the better. Let's get this underway. Not quite. At that moment, Ivory Scroll walked up to the road with a bulgy sailbag. Mayor, Trixie asked to believe, what are you doing here? Charlie brought me up to speed. Cena focused her attention to everyone present. As mayor of Ponyville, I am declaring this duel official as sanctioned under the Code Dural Equestrius. As such, all proceedings will adhere to the rules of combat. I'll be acting as master of the field, and Pucky Pierce will be primary witness to proceedings. My verdict on this matter is final, and any who commit misconduct under the code answers to me. What the? Gil did a number of times. But you're the mayor that punched me in the face. One of the mayors that punched you in the face, Charlie corrected. There's no way I'm letting you decide who defected is, Gil objected vehemently. Did you bring someone else you feel is more suited for the role? Well, then shut it. The mayor pulled out a large book from her saddlebag and opened it. The law states that any duel in which title, property, or government position is wagered must be overseen by a master of the field and primary witness. What makes you such an expert on duels? Carrot asked. Have you not noticed this great big book? Ivory Scroll responded rhetorically. Besides, how do you think I got the job of mayor in the first place? You were democratically voted in by the presidents of Ponyville? Lyra offered. Well, yes, the mayor admitted. But it still doesn't mean I couldn't have won it in a duel if I had to. So what about it? Trixie asked. Do you want my titles badly enough for a firefight? Bah! Gale spat back. You'll be losing this duel regardless. So what does it matter who is present? This guy's a jerk, Pokey commented to Dizzy. But at least he's positive thinker. At that, both Trixie and Gildo took their starting positions at the center of the crossroads, ready to finally get this duel started. Iris Scroll stood between the two combatants. Alright, as master of the field, I declare that the duel between Trixie and Gildo is about to begin. As this is a New Orleans-style duel, there are no rules aside from those outlined in the code. The duel is won by a knockout, incapacitation, or surrender. There is to be no outside help. Another combatant may attack with the intention of killing their opponent. Any violation of these restrictions will be met with force of law. Are these terms understood? Both of the duelists nodded, and the rest of the spectators stepped back to a safe distance. Very well, Ivory Scroll stated as he began to step back as well. On the count of 3, the duel may begin. 1. Gale reached for his nearest pocket. 2. Trixie lit up her horn in preparation. 3. Trixie got back at the first shot, firing her beam of magic straight at Caleb. The Zabroni did a sharp turn, the beam nearly missing him, managed to power up his front hose. He clapped it together, sending out a percussive blast towards Trixie. On instinct, Trixie raised the force field. Shield work was never Trixie's strong suit. The force field stopped her getting hit by the attack, but it shattered when the blast made contact. Seeing an opening, Caleb tried to bring his host together for a second round of applause, only for them to be enveloped by a purple aura, keeping them apart. As much as I normally enjoy applause, that trick got old the first time. Fair enough, Gale replied. Let's try something new. Using his mouth, Gale pulled a large, strange-looking thorn and stabbed it into the magic surrounding his hose. Trixie let out a gasp of pain as she released her hold on the Zabroni, her hand suddenly feeling like it had been prodded with a hot poker. Doesn't feel too good having a Megsbane thorn through your magic, does it? Gale said smugly. You honestly just think I wouldn't be prepared for anything you could throw at me. He didn't duck, as the rock nearly missed him. Did you just throw a rock at me? Tracy's response was another rock. Nice bait, Carrot Top asked. That doesn't even grow on this continent. I guess he's more prepared than we gave him credit for, Charlie commented. Gil dodged another rock and pulled out some black herbs and started to chew on them. All right, he said as he spat the chewed herbs into his hoof. If you want to play that way. He placed the spat on his hoof into his shadow. He pulled back a long tendril of shadows that stayed connected to his hoof and stretched out. Gave his hoof a flick, causing the tendril to completely separate from his shadow and crack like a whip. Satisfied with his creation, he then cracked his whip at Trixie. The showmare jumped back as the whip stretched out and hit the ground where she had been standing, causing bits of grass and dirt to fly up in the air. Trixie dodged a couple more strikes. As he dodged to the side to avoid another strike, the whip instead hit her shadow. She cried in pain, struck through her front leg, in the same spot where the shadow had been hit. The pain then intensified as Gil sent out another 3 quick strikes in succession on other parts of her shadow. One hit on the other front leg, another in her barrel, and the last one on her horn. It was safe to say she wasn't feeling too good after that. What's the matter? Gale asked. Did it stop being fun without your friends to do the fighting for you? Despite the pain, Trixie let out a growl of frustration. This stopped being fun the instant you started messing with my town. Your town? Gale let out a hollow laugh. Please, as if you actually care about this town. Just like everyone else in your life, it's just another stepping stone to move your ambitions forward. You're a parasite to the moon. You use up everything and every pony around you. When they stop being useful, you cast aside. Oh yeah? Well, at least I've helped take down the world-destroying evils, big shot. Tracy shot back. What have you done with your life? Gil gritted his teeth and cracked the whip again. This time Trixie was ready. She saw a bright burst of light disintegrating the whip. Read the memo, Caleb. No one likes shadow puppets. Well, no one likes your second stage tricks either. Tracy blinked twice, then pulled out Love and Tolerance. Alright, now I'm going to break something. Gil threw a group of vials right at Trixie. On instinct, Trixie used her magic to smash the vials before they could make contact. Trixie only realized her mistake when clouds of green smoke burst out. Trixie coughed and tried to back away from the growing smoke cloud. Gil tusked. Predictable. He then threw more vials out in all directions. Soon the whole field was filled with strange green smoke. Gale let out a chuckle as he started to blend into smoke. That chuckle seemed to echo through the smoke. Trixie circled, L&T at the ready. Then she saw an equine sheep in the corner of her eye. She swung at it, only for it to burst into a puff of smoke. What the? You're not the only one with friends, Gale's voice called out. Trixie noticed that the shapes in the smoke were becoming more solid-looking. They were also becoming less pleasant-looking. No, Trixie protested, shaking her head desperately to clear it. This is just some cheap trick! Cheap trick? The Murph seemed to fancy Gale's trick. Don't you disrespect me, little mare! Don't you degrade or deride. You're in my stage now, not on your stage, and I've got friends on the other side. He's got friends on the other side. Trixie stepped back as skeletal faces appeared out of the smoke. They floated out of the smoke and started to dance around her. Gale stepped out of the smoke and seemed to be glowing with ungoldable powder. Step up to my table, place a bet or 3, because my powers will enable me to do anything you see. Trixie was about to take a swing at him, but noticed the purple spires crawling up her legs. In shock, she jumped back and dropped Love and Tolerance as she tried to shake them off. Spires then vanished, but the Love and Tolerance band had vanished into the smoke before the unicorn retrieved it. I know what you're thinking. I could change it around some too. I'll just look it deeper to your mind and soul. Or at least if you had a mind, Gale mused, before knocking Trixie on the head as if it were a door before dancing out of reach. Make your deepest fears come true. I've got voodoo, I got juju, I got things I've never even tried. And I've got friends on the other side. He's got friends on the other side. Creatures with bat wings slipped around Trixie as he tried to vainly swat them away, but they were undeterred. Demonic-looking reptiles started to slither around her hooves. She felt her heart racing, her breath coming in short, sharp breaths. Why did she feel scared all of a sudden? Gil, meanwhile, seemed to be joined by what appeared to be a council of ghosts. The spirits return. Your sins, your failures, and your blunders as well. The spirits, they whisper to me. Let's look at your life and see what is there to see. What's going on? Lyra asked. I don't know. Hard to make out in all the smoke, Charlie admitted. Trixie's acting all scared about something, but I can't see what. She turned to Mayor. Are you sure this is legal? Do you think I'd be just standing here if this wasn't legal? Come on, Trixie! Carrot Top shouted. Show who's boss! Sadly, Carrot Top, if I know certain riffers, and I do, according to them, just using the mere use of illusions that are not deadly, not painful, and not hurtful are somehow considered deadly. Even if you write down that they'll be fine. No, I'm still not letting that go, audience. I still don't get how I write down in the story that Trixie's illusions only knocked out the guards, that she actually stated that the guards were going to be okay, and that the guards only passed out from fright, and my river still thinks he killed them. And even though I pointed it out to them that no, they would be fine, the spell didn't kill them, they were like, well, they could still die if they got a heart attack, or if they were clasping at each other's throats, or... No, that's not what happened. They are fine. Get it through your head. Don't just start adding in crap just because you think that is what's going to happen. If the author tells you they're fine, then they're fine. They're okay. Don't start adding death just because you think that make it darker just to appease your own fears. Now you, young man, are from New Orleans. You were raised and trained by royalty. Your ego's huge, but your morals flawed. Does your family know they raised such a fraud? Aunt and Uncle didn't want you, did they? Gale asked mockingly. Shut up! They set you off to be raised by a princess who took pity on you. You're a charity case. A PR right tracks right off. But power, that was your dream. It's the dream in your heart. But when I look past, I see you're not all that smart. You have no idea what you're talking about, Trixie said venomously. Don't I? Gale asked mockingly. He gave a grand sweep of his forehuff, as if answering to his will. A section of the smoke parted, but instead of seeing the crossroads, she saw the inside of the ice palace, or how it looked roughly 3 seconds before it was flooded. On cue, a torrent of water came straight for her. The sea raced by her impact, only for the smoke to close up, taking the scene with it hit. Gale just took over the Blue Mare's reaction. On you, little mare, I won't waste much more time. Stepping over all the others all your life, stepping over your friends and my brother, been a burden on your teacher. The fiendish creatures were suddenly replaced by ponies from Trixie's past. Former friends, old schoolmates and Trixie teachers, all looking on and jeering at her. And beyond that was the disapproving face of Princess Luna. And if you never got laid... Shocked, Trixie turned to the source of the voice and jumped back when she saw an attractive stallion starting to invade her permanent space. You stepped over that stallion too. A look of disgust on the stallion's face. So in conclusion, the fact that rings true is that you're the only pony that matters to you. Every pony started surrounding Trixie and Crease as they were joined by the residents of Ponyville, all looking ready to tear the Blue Mare apart. No! Trixie gave a stamp of her hoof. I may have made mistakes in the past, but Ponyville stands by me.
That's just because they think they need you, Luna Moon.
Gale passed effortlessly through the crowd until he appeared in front of Trixie.
Do you honestly think they like you?
Trixie wanted to say a defiant yes, to be able to prove Gale wrong. But being in the center of so many ponies, looking on in hate was stopping her ability to speak.
Just give up, Gale said coastally. Come on, Trixie. Put your mouth to your defeat.
Trixie didn't answer, but closed her eyes to see hung her head and dropped her weapons.
Yes,
Caleb exclaimed in triumph. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Every pony started to dance around the two. Retribution Central! Retribution Central! Soon the coolest specters started to join in. Reparation Central! Reparation Central! The ponies also became more monstrous. Everything started to close in. Satisfaction Central! Can you feel it? You lose and you lose and you lose and alright. I hope you're terrified and you don't blame me. You can blame my ouch! Caleb was cut off when Trixie lunged forward to bite him hard in the nose. He let out a scream as he stayed latched onto his face. Also composed as he struggled to get the apparently crazed mare to let him go. Finally, he managed to shove her away and get some distance by shuffling away one hoof, covering his injured nose. Wasting no time, Trixie poured out a flask and poured out the contents around her before igniting it. Sparking her horn, placing herself in the center of the ring of fire. The flames gave her something real to focus on, while the heat of the air caused the smoke to rise up, seemingly taking the spears with it. Word of advice, Caleb, Trixie declared. Even when you think you've won, know when to keep your distance.
Miss Claw!
Caleb exclaimed as he removed the hoof from his nose to take for blood.
You bit me!
3 things you should know about Ponyville. 1. Every pony that lives here is completely insane. Trixie paused for a moment to steady your mind. 2. When what we hold dear is threatened, we will do whatever it takes to defend it. And 3. She lifted over her hope to reveal the mainstay thorn. We tend to hold on to our stuff to get a lot better. Shocked, Gil checked and found that the thorn was cut from his pocket. Before he could respond, Trixie dropped the thorn into the fire, without a crackle and hiss as it burned up. The ring of fire died down, and Trixie stepped forward. So don't think for a moment, just because you think Betsy was in prison next to me, that you know what it means to be really ticked off. You want to see ticked off? You harassed my town, upstaged my character, unleashed countless of monsters on innocent ponies, acting like an all-around jerk, and you tried to upstage me. Her horn lit up. No one upstages me! Gil shielded his eyes as the field was filled with bright light. When his vision was clear, he saw the field suddenly filled with Trixies, all looking exactly identical. The surprised scout that one of the Trixies approached him, and casually clipped a horseshoe into her front hoof.
Oh please, you really think that a bunch of losers are going to— Gah!
Gil was interrupted by a horse's hoof colliding with the center of his face.
Not the nose again!
It's time to face facts, Trixie says. He blended into the other Trixies. Tonight's not your night. It's mine. You know, I like the use of this next song, but if I may offer a critique, I would have loved to have used Karna Evil's little song, Welcome to the Show. But I so rarely get to sing something like this. And in Trixie's voice, too. Hit it, girl. With pleasure. It's close to midnight, and something strange is lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you'll see my might which almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes the sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror hits you right between the eyes. You're stupefied. Gilla pulled out strange pieces of looking paper. He threw them in a wide arc, obliviously hoping to hit as many mares as possible. The paper ignited in the air. Trixies were unfazed by as the fireballs passed harmlessly through them. Then the unicorn to his left launched a volley of magical fireworks at him, momentarily filling his visions with starbursts. "'Cause this is Trixie's! Trixie's night! And no one's gonna save you from the mare about to strike! You know it's Trixie's! Trixie's night! You're fighting for your life inside a trickster! Trixie tonight!" Gil tried to take a few strategic steps back, only to have a hark him right in the back of the head. He spun around and saw he was now completely surrounded by Trixies. Welcome to every day of my work life. You try to step back and realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel the cold chill and wish you fought under the sun. You close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination, yeah. But all the while, you feel the chill that's creeping up your spine. You're out of time! Gil desperately tried to form his trinkets, but he kept hitting illusions, only for one of the blue mares to bunk him in the hindquarters. "'Cause this is Trixie's! Trixie's night! There's no taking chance against the master of surprise, yeah! Trixie's! Trixie's night! You're finding your life inside the trickster Trixie tonight!" Caleb was soon overcome with dismay.
"How are you doing this?"
"Sorry, Caleb. Can't tell you." The Zabroni turned to see Trixie nearby eating candy. A good magician doesn't reveal their secrets. So he held out a bag filled with candy. "Want some?"
"No, thank you,"
Gale said dismissively. Realization didn't hit, and Zabroni took a swing at the mare, only for his hoof to go right through the illusion. The fake Trixie only smirked. "Oh, so you're finally getting physical. Running low on tricks. We're out to get you. There's ponies closing in on every side. We will condemn you, 'cause all your crimes have nowhere left to hide. Now's the time for you to say you're sorry and repent, yeah. Or else this night will be the last hurry one you have spent. It's time to relent." Gil finally started fracking all his pockets, trying to find something to use, only to realize he was indeed running low on supplies. "Yes, this is Trixie's! Trixie's night, and I can scare you more than any ghost would ever dare try! Trixie's! Trixie's night! Hold on for your life as we jinx you, hex you, fix you here tonight!" On cue, the army of Trixie started moving, standing just with their eyes closed. One by one, each unicorn began to fade, only leaving a small orb of light in its place. Only one blue pony remained on the field. Gale prepared to strike, thinking he had an opening. Before he could do anything, the scattered glowing spears began flying back to Trixie, gathering into her horn. With each shining ball of her horn, then her whole body began to glow brighter with silver light. When the last orb made contact with the light, suffusing her flared out into a shining nimbus of radiance that scared her entire form. So bright that Gil tried to squint just to see Trixie's silhouette within the outer prominence. The bright light must have really been messing with his eyes, because the silhouette seemed to go brighter. Then something began to emerge from the field of light. It was a horn, a blue spiraling unicorn's horn. It was much too high off the ground, it kept coming out. More than twice the normal unicorn's horn's length emerged before a regal, blue equine face followed. Upon her brow sat a tired, silver crown, repleasant with jewels. Next came a tall, graceful neck, and a mane like a silvery mist, holding on its own accord, but filled with what looked like silent fireworks, blooming and fading in various colors. Two very long, graceful legs stepped out of hose clasped in silver filigree hooves. The body that was fall was slender, yet settled with strength. The blue cloak that looked finer than silk was seen finally emerged, completely from the nimbus, burst apart and spread a huge pair of wings like an enormous swan. Then she opened her eyes, looked down at his roll pony. Trixie had become an alicorn, and was coming towards him. "Darkness covers all the land. This regal mare does demand judgment calling for your blood. You terrorized our neighborhood, and whosoever shall be found guilty of crimes against my town will stand and face fate not too well, and shake inside a fear-filled shell. Punishment for your dire dare, loss of freedom of several years, and angry mares from every room are closing in to seal your doom. And though you fight for your petty spite, your defeat is all tragic, for no one like you could ever beat the element of magic." How long were you waiting the chance to practice your Fisher Price laugh. Too long, Trix, too long. I needed that chance. In desperation, Gilb reached for something in his hat. There was a loud crack, and Gilb fell to the ground, unconscious, revealing the real Trixie standing behind him, holding Love Intolerance. And this is why I'm a knight, Trixie stated, and you're a schmuck. The mayor came try it over, so he gave Gilb a point to confirm he was unconscious, then proceeded to do a 10 count. 9, 10. Gilb is unable to continue this duel by means of knockout, he said. I declare Trixie to winner. Why do I have a feeling there are some idiots out there who would start saying, Trixie totally did a kill count. If anybody else were to get hit by that bat, she could have killed him, blah, blah, blah. Oh yeah, Lyra screamed enthusiastically. You, the mayor. The shout finally roused Gale to consciousness, started picking himself back up.
I do not go down easily.
Despite everything she had been through, Trixie couldn't help but roll her eyes. You are knocked out for a 10 count. Face it, Gilb. You lost. It's over.
No, it's not over until...
Until what? Because with everything that's happened, I'm still failing to see what your end game was. The representative approached the beaten Zabroni. Honestly, Gilb, what was the point of all this? Trixie demanded. What were you hoping to accomplish? Even in a best-case scenario, how would you be any better off? Taking my tiles will not get Bantu out of prison any quicker. And all I've given you is minor governance over a backwater town that could be revoked as soon as there was evidence that you were unfit for the role. Was there anything actually you were hoping to accomplish other than making me suffer? There was only pointed silence. Well, just well. That's all it really was, she said in amazement. I mean, sure, I figured that was the case when you first turned up in town. But after all this effort, I was thinking, hoping that there was some big picture to all of this. I really don't know how to feel about this. I mean, sure, you're a big jerk for messing with a town full of innocent ponies, but to go through all this preparation and effort for so little payoff, that's actually kind of sad. She shook her head. You talked about being my nemesis, and yet all you really are this hate-filled revenge monkey. Gale grit his teeth and saw his hat was nearby. He shot for it before Trixie could stop him when he pulled out a single red feather from it.
You want to see Hatefield? Caleb asked. I'll show you Hatefield.
It was in that moment Trixie came to a shocking realization. Gale was holding a phoenix feather. It was the next moment that Gale unleashed a massive wave of purple flame right at Trixie. Despite every instinct to telling her to move, Durham could only stare in fear-filled awe as the wall of purple flame approached. Trixie! No! Before any of her friends could act, Trixie was enveloped in flames until all that stood there was a pillar of fire. Every pony stood in horror at the spectacle. Realization that what he had done hit Caleb, and all the anger drained from his face turned to terror.
No! Trixie!
He tried to force the soul fire to dissipate, but no longer responded to his will.
I can't stop it. It's out of control.
No, Caleb. A voice called from the flames. You are out of control. Pillar of Fire opened the curtain, revealing Trixie completely unharmed. Funny thing about Soulfire, Trixie stated, it answers to the strongest will present, not the will that cast it.
Impossible. There's no way you could.
You know what? I am sick and tired of ponies telling me who I am. So listen up while I set the record straight once and for all. Trixie stood up on her hind legs, her cape billowing out as he had actually grown a pair of wings. And people wonder why I had Trixie refuse becoming an alicorn. I am the great and powerful Trixie, element of magic, representative of Ponyville, hero of Equestria, apprentice to Princess Luna, friend of five of the most honorable ponies in existence, and granddaughter to the greatest magician of all time. The real question is, who the buck are you? Trixie stomped the ground. Fire rendered into a wave headed straight for Caleb. The Sabrani could only stare as the wall of purple flames headed toward him. Last moment, he closed his eyes to prepare for impact. He felt the heat surrounding him. He felt nothing. After a moment of fearful anticipation, Caleb opened his eyes and saw the flames were gone. He looked down, saw while the ground was standing untouched. There were now 2 tracks of scorched earth, one on either side of him. He looked up, he saw Trixie standing there. The mare took in a deep breath as all of her anger faded away. Her expression turned neutral. She then sat down and uttered 2 simple words. I'm done.
Gale blinked twice. What?
He was promptly knocked over when a big fluke hit him in the side of his head. When he was able to bring himself out of the daze, he looked up and saw an angry mare standing over him.
Caleb, you're under arrest! Arrest? Gale asked. On what grounds?
You want grounds? How about start things off with, we go finally the terms of a duel by striking out after you already lost. Assault with potentially lethal first, acting with intent to harm, attacking government vessel, defamation of character, and littering!
Littering?
Those files you threw weren't going to clean themselves up, the mayor snapped. Now come crediting, or else we'll take you in by force. At that moment, a rather sharp-looking horn filled Gale's vision.
Trust me, Pokey said. You don't want us to use force.
Gale, with some utter degree of difficulty, was able to look past Pokey to see 5 angry mares. The Jasmine Pegasus in particular looked absolutely murderous as he was restrained from her friends.
Come quick, peacefully,
Gale said nervously, trying to swallow the lump in his throat. Satisfied that the brownie's response was sincere, Iris Scroll turned to the rest of the elements. Pokey and I can handle Gale from here, the mayor assured them. You not focus on the representative. The 2 led Gale away from his crossroads. Well, she really threw the book at him, Ira commented. Your sister then noticed Carrot Top glaring at her. What? Not even Pokey felt the need to go there, the farmer stated. That should tell you something.
I still think he should let me some time to rearrange his face,
Raindrops fumed. You risk you getting yourself charged? Dizzy asked. This scumbag isn't worth it. The mayor's approached Trixie, who hadn't moved from her spot on the source ground. Are you alright? I'm alive. I'm intact, and apparently I'm victorious. Trixie lifted her hat to reveal tears streaming down her face. But I'm far from alright. The representative started to collapse, but Raindrops managed to catch her before she hit the ground. As he continued to hold her frenzy, started sobbing. Come on, the weather mayor said. Let's get you home.